Everybody wants to face each other. So is that where we're at right now with Canelo?
No. Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
Yeah, he needs the money.
How can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter.
You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. You know.
Gervonta Davis predicts that Canelo Alvarez will dominate and embarrass Terence Crawford in their upcoming clash. He argues that Crawford has shown vulnerability before, noting how even Yuri Ortiz Gamboa managed to hurt him in their fight. For Davis, this proves that Canelo's superior size and power will be overwhelming, and any past weaknesses Crawford displayed will resurface against a bigger, stronger, and more dangerous opponent.
How can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter. But, bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because they're smaller, they know how to move and everything like that. But this guy is great at what he do. He got, and another thing, bro.
Terence Crawford, a two-division undisputed champion, is once again out to silence his critics as he targets the colossal task of taking on Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. While many question whether he can handle the size and power difference, Crawford insists his superior skills will prevail. With unwavering confidence, he boldly promised that everyone doubting him will leave in tears on fight night, showcasing his determination and mental fortitude ahead of one of boxing's boldest challenges.
You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. You know, everybody's talking about the size and, you know, me being a smaller fighter, but if you look on the stage, I've been sparring these big dudes my whole career. Like, how I'm gonna take a punch? They punch me every time we spar. So, you know, it's okay. You know, once we get in the ring and they see something different, like each and every time, it's gonna be another excuse why, the reason why Terence won and this and that and that is. But I can assure you, I'm gonna be victorious. And after that, we're gonna have another parade.
Gervonta Davis, one of the lightweight division's biggest stars, has made his stance clear on the Canelo versus Crawford showdown. Famous for his devastating knockout power, Davis consistently picks Canelo to come out on top. He believes Alvarez's natural size, strength, and experience on the biggest stages will simply be too much for Crawford, especially since Crawford has never competed at this weight. In Davis's eyes, Canelo's success across multiple divisions makes him a more reliable choice, even against a fighter as talented as Crawford.
We got between Canelo and Terence Crawford. Tank is going to pick Canelo to knock Crawford out. We all know Tank had his little run-ins with Bud and things of that nature, to where Bud say he will fight Tank at 147, which is crazy to me, right? Tank ain't going to no damn 147. But nonetheless, Gervonta Tank Davis go ride with Canelo. And, you know, he a smart man. He a smart man. Because I think everybody and their mama see that, you know, Canelo Alvarez is too big for Terence Crawford, just like Terence Crawford know it. But Gervonta Tank Davis always pick Canelo over everybody. Doesn't matter who it is.
In terms of resume and experience, few in modern boxing compare to Canelo Alvarez. From his early clash with Floyd Mayweather to years of taking on bigger, stronger opponents, Canelo has consistently sought out the toughest challenges. His supporters argue that while Crawford is undeniably a pound-for-pound great, he hasn't faced the same level of physically imposing competition. Canelo's proven ability to overcome size disadvantages only strengthens his confidence heading into another massive showdown.
I don't see Crawford knocking Canelo out. If Canelo lets Crawford get away with boxing, he may have a shot. If Canelo comes in there and boxes and cut the ring, Canelo has a chance of knocking Crawford out.
What?
Yeah.
You said Canelo got a shot at knocking Crawford out?
I think he does.
Why?
Remember, Crawford coming up for 135. And I don't know if y'all remember when he fought Gamboa. Gamboa rocked him a little bit too. And we talking about Canelo Alvarez.
That was a long time ago. If we gonna do that, Canelo got rocked by Jose Miguel Cotto.
I didn't know that. But on the real, Canelo has faced a bigger opposition. He's faced a bigger and a harder punchers. Who has Crawford faced that's a big puncher? Canelo's taking more hard punches than Crawford. The tail of the tape is going to be if Crawford can take the power from Canelo, and can Canelo box with Crawford and potentially hurt him and finish the fight.
Experts caution against drawing comparisons to past fights when assessing this matchup. Canelo Alvarez isn't Errol Spence Jr., and Terence Crawford isn't Floyd Mayweather. Canelo offers a distinct style marked by explosive power, slick upper body movement, and a rock-solid chin. On the other hand, Crawford's adaptability and ability to switch stances make him unlike any other fighter. Analysts stress that this showdown can't be judged by old blueprints. It's a completely new battle of styles between two exceptional champions.
Terence Crawford is a dog, that's a fact. Heart of a lion, that's a fact. Great boxer, great skills, high IQ, future Hall of Famer, that is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. You know what else is a fact, ladies and gentlemen? Terence Crawford cannot afford to get hit with these same shots by Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is not the mean machine. Canelo Alvarez is not Sean Porter. Canelo Alvarez is not Gamboa, and he's for damn sure not Errol Spence Jr. Just like Terence Crawford is not Floyd Mayweather or Lara. We trying to say that Bud's gonna do the same thing that Mayweather was able to do. Two different styles, two different type of fighters. Mayweather is a pure boxer. Terence Crawford is not a pure boxer. That does not mean that he can't box. Before y'all try to kill me in the comment section. Yes, he has the ability to box, but Terence Crawford is a boxer puncher, ladies and gentlemen. He gives angles, but he doesn't move like a Floyd Mayweather or a Lara. He's not on his toes like that. And he also likes to exchange when he gets hurt, and that can be to his detriment. And if he exchanged with Canelo a little too long, it might be NyQuil time. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section.
Canelo Alvarez steps into the fight with clear advantages in size and experience, as 168 pounds is his natural territory. Crawford, by contrast, is venturing into unfamiliar ground, while Canelo has already faced multiple Hall of Fame caliber opponents. Still, Crawford is considered by many to be the most technically gifted boxer in the sport, with elite timing, sharp counterpunching, and the rare ability to switch stances seamlessly. This clash ultimately comes down to size and experience versus skill and adaptability.
Boxing odd makers have Canelo versus Crawford Gillette close. Now, obviously, Canelo has the size advantage. He's 3 weight divisions heavier than Crawford. And most people believe that Crawford carries the skill advantage, being an overall more skilled fighter. Neither guy is known for tremendous defense, but it's still solid. And of course, they're both chiseled into the Mount Rushmore of pugilism for their ironclad wills. The one area that people say Canelo might have the advantage is in experience fighting heavier dudes. Now, obviously, all fighters spar out of their weight classes. But when it comes to actually fighting in the pro ranks with those 10-ounce gloves, Canelo's the only one between the two of them that has a multitude of experience fighting super middleweights and light heavyweights in the pro ranks. So does this slight advantage give Canelo the nod and make him a bit of a favorite? Or is Crawford going to prove that size doesn't matter and it's skills that pay the bills? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments.
Veteran trainer Abel Sanchez voiced serious concerns about Terence Crawford's decision to face Canelo Alvarez. He noted that Crawford has never fought at this size or weight class, making the move a significant risk. Sanchez warned that jumping up too quickly can expose even the most skilled fighters to disadvantages that technique alone can't offset. Citing Dimitri Bivol's win over Canelo, Sanchez pointed out that even a naturally bigger, stronger fighter like Bivol had to deliver a flawless performance to secure victory. His message was clear. If Bivol had to push to his limits, Crawford's uphill battle against Alvarez will be even steeper, highlighting just how massive this challenge truly is.
He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just think that moving up in weight without having fights to merit that, I think it's the wrong move, but he couldn't handle a 154-pounder the way that he was handling everybody else before, and Madrimov is not Canelo. Canelo's been used to fighting all the bigger guys and has done very well with the bigger guys. Nobody's hurt him. Nobody's hurt him. I mean, he's fought the biggest punch. He fought Gennady. Come on, he fought Gennady twice, really the good fights, and then Bivol hit him with everything and couldn't hurt him. So how's Terence gonna do that? I don't think he can. I see Canelo going away maybe in a 16-12, 17-13 kind of fight. The first 3 or 4 rounds will be difficult for Canelo, or a little harder for Canelo because of the speed. But once he just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, you know, the first 3 or 4 rounds where Kell was fast. But Terence is going to expose himself when he throws his punches, and Canelo's going to finally get this timing down, and I think we'll be able to control the fight.
Do you see a version of Canelo now that is slowing down? Obviously, a lot of people might point towards the Williams Skull fight, but again, despite how that one played out, people talking about his lack of motivation maybe for a fight like that. But do you see this version of Canelo declining?
No, I think the lack of motivation because of the opponent could have been the reason for that fight. I think these guys at that level, once they get a name, they're looking at a name. It's a different story. They're not only their motivation, but they're waking up earlier in the morning to go run. All those things come into play because they know they have a challenge ahead of them.
One thing with the weight, and again, Buddy spoke to me about this, is he said that if he was Terence, he'd come in just over the 160 limit, so he's just inside the 168 limit to try and keep a bit more of that speed instead of just like bulking up. Do you agree with that sentiment, or if you was Terence, would you just bulk up?
Well, let me say this. Like everybody else, I read or I watch some of the writings on the internet, and to see that Terence is weighing 186, 190 pounds, I think that's completely the wrong way to do it.
Respected trainer Robert Garcia, who has guided multiple world champions, expressed doubts about Crawford's preparation for moving up in weight. He cautioned that gaining weight too quickly can compromise a fighter's natural strengths, particularly speed and reflexes, which are central to Crawford's style. Garcia also dismissed comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, noting that Mayweather always stayed within his weight range and fought with calculated precision. In Garcia's view, Crawford's brilliance might not carry over to super middleweight if the added weight hampers his quickness or drains his stamina.